had to take a double look when I saw this topic or this news line go on across my feed on X. It was about the WWE and the NFL collaborating with some new merch for fans. And it's just not a normal merch drop that we're used to, right? You get like a new training camp gear and starter gear. It's something else, okay? So it's WWE and the NFL. They're collaborating for something that I had to take a double look, like I said before, because I don't know. I guess the marketing team is trying to do their gig, right? I get it. But I've seen it before because, you know, when you watch wrestling, not in my era of when I watched it, but wrestling, when they won a championship belt, you know, that was cool, right? They had like I remember the Southwest Championship belt and what else? Man, there was so many. But it's cool that is that, right? Where when I see that, when I see Fritz Von Erich with the heavyweight championship belt on, I feel good about that because Fritz earned it, right? Or Ric Flair, or who else? Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. So many greats have worn championship belts, right? So when I see this, I'm like, okay, all right, we already look like fools when we go out to NFL games, right? Because there's a bunch of grown men wearing jerseys to these tailgates, and I like jerseys, but I'm not going to wear it to the game. And I have before, but not now. I kind of said, you know what, I won't. I did it a couple times, and I said, okay, this is weird. Because you look around, everybody's wearing jerseys. I just think it's funny. Anyway, but now with that jersey you wear to your games and stadiums all across the country, now you'll be able to add to your collection, to your merch collection, an NFL Legacy title belt. What? Come again, what? Yes, you can get your hands on an official licensed NFL title belt from your favorite team. If you're trying to get a Jacksonville Jaguar one, you're not going to get one. They've already stopped selling them. They couldn't keep up with demand. I don't know what's going on with that story. It was trending on X. So I looked into this a little bit because I was like, okay, you got my attention. I want to go and see what these championship wrestling belts look like. And they look very cheesy. I mean, very, very cheesy. They look like they're for little kids. So if any of you grown men over 30 are wearing these to the game, shame on you guys. You guys look like fools. If you're going to do that, stay home. Wear your title belt at home in front of your TV. Don't go out in public. It's ridiculous. But yes, this collaboration is going to bring in big money because to get one of these bad boys, these legacy title belts, it's going to set you back at $549. Okay? And the way it looks, I don't think it's worth almost $600, man. They could have done a little bit more for that amount of cash. I mean, come on. I mean, who put these together? Did the WWE or the NFL say, hey, this is what we want? We rendered this. This is what we want. And what we're selling. Because they're lame. They look like a 10-year-old would wear these or put it together. Yeah, I think it's funny, And if you go to the game, and I've seen it, it's already out there. You know, fans across the NFL, fans across the country are doing this already, where they're showing up with their championship title belts, and even the players are getting in on this. So if the players, do that, I'm sure they can come up with like bling and diamonds and stuff. But the NFL and the WWE, what they're selling you is something that I would put together as a kid when I was cutting cardboard and trying to glue together all this stuff to make my own championship belt back in the day when I was a little guy. That's what it looks like. For $600, come on, guys. You guys got to step that up. There's no way you're selling that crap. That's a horrible championship belt, the legacy belt. And yes, it looks a little bit, it looks okay, but they need to add to it and make it better for that price. I wouldn't buy one. I would take one. If I was in the media, normally they would send you stuff like this and say, hey, you can talk about this, and they send you a championship belt. So you would get one for free. Now I'm not in that business anymore, so I don't get anything for free. But it would be cool if I got one. They look okay, and just to kind of, hold on to it. And I'd get a Raiders one. I wouldn't get a Dallas Cowboy one. Yeah, but they have all the teams except Jacksonville Jaguars. It's crazy. Everybody wants one of those, and so they stopped selling them on the website. So if that's your team, the Jags, you're not going to be able to get your championship legacy belt. Sorry, man. Maybe you can get a New York Giants. They look lame. They remind me of jerseys that NFL jerseys they sold at Montgomery Ward's. They were like these stiff jerseys. They were cool for the time. But that's what these belts remind me of a little bit. You would be able to get these jerseys at Montgomery Ward's. They had, my buddy would wear a Steelers one, and my other buddy wore every single jersey. I'm not going to mention his name. But when we went to his place to watch football, the guy he had every team. It's like, wow, very impressive. It was way before our time. Big fan of the game, and why not, right? It's upon us. The roster's broken down. Everybody had to be, kind of make the cuts and make the roster, the 53-man roster, and it's set. We are set for NFL football, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to sit down because I have the NFL ticket, so I'll be able to watch everything with the Sunday ticket and be able to watch all the games from early morning for the pre-games commentary and leading up to the first game, flipping around, have it on the multi-view on your big screen. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling. I'm glad it's here. I want the weather to change a little bit here in South Texas, so I'll be able to barbecue. You can't do that right now. Everything's too dry. So, we got to wait. But, man, it is upon us. I'm so happy that, it is close. I'm like a kid in Christmas morning where it's like, okay, can I open a present now? No, not yet. It's not there yet. So very, very, very crazy merch that the WWE and the NFL came together and are selling, because I'm sure by the time the season starts, these championship belts will be gone from every team. Yes, and you will see everybody walking around in Vegas, or in your local town, they'll be at a restaurant, they walk in with their championship belt. I mean, how lame is that? I talked about this before. I mean, can you imagine walking in, right? You're at Hooters or Ojos Locos or wherever you go, whatever your watering hole that you frequent, and somebody walks in with their title, their championship legacy belt. I mean, do you guys fight for it? Do you guys go out to the parking lot and like, okay, I want to challenge you for your belt? If you're going to put them out there, if you're going to sell these legacy belts, let's bring something with it. The fan base has got to step up now. So if you see somebody with a bigger belt than yours with more bling on it, instead of your cardboard one that you got from NFL.com or WWE.com, and this guy walks into Hooters and he has a, big ass freaking Legacy Plus title. Hey, I'm going to fight you for it. Let's go outside, man. Yes, that's what we need to do. Even at stadiums, you walk in a parking lot tailgate, and they need to have some rings out there. Because if you don't, we'll just fight and go old school. We'll like start fighting and slamming each other on car hoods and stuff. And it would be a wreck. That I'm just thinking about it, I'm laughing. I'm like, this could be a thing. Oh, goodness. I shouldn't have talked about this because now some of you fools are going to go out there and like, hey, I need a belt, or I'm going to go create my own belt. I'm going to Home Depot. Okay, I need to get some leather, and I need to go to, let's see, Michael's Crafts. I need to go to a craft store to start creating the ultimate belt. And you want to put it up, man. Like, hey, my belt is up for challenge. If you walk anywhere to a convenience store, wherever, an HEB or a Costco, and somebody else has a title and they're walking around with it over their shoulder, you're like, hey, that means you want to challenge, man. Let's go. I want to challenge you for your belt right here in Costco. Let's go. Yes. Everything's been boring lately, so we need something like this to go on. So this can go on anywhere. You could be at Luby's on a Sunday. You walk in with your title belt and you're like, your shades. You go there just to go eat, and all of a sudden, boom! You lock eyes, and there's another dude in there with a title, and he's the Midwest Championship champ. So like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pass. I'm going to go ahead and pass. Go ahead and get your food. I'm going to go ahead and take care of this guy right now. I need that title. Yes. It's never too early to talk about the festivities that come along with the NFL game, right? Because it leads up to something. That the Super Bowl, which this year or next year, it would be in Las Vegas. I mean, can you imagine that? Whoa. And that new stadium, it's going to be nice. There'll be a bunch of places to go have parties. That place is going to be jumping there in the Super Bowl. I can only imagine. I've been to Vegas during Super Bowl weekend, and that was pretty cool because they didn't have the team back then. And it was at the Hooters Casino where we went, and we broadcast it from the Stratosphere. It was fun. But now they have an NFL team. They have an a WNBA team. Man, Vegas, wow. Yeah, you do not want to be near that city in the desert during the Super Bowl weekend or the week leading up. It's going to be crazy. Whoa. And I've been to a few of those, and those Super Bowl weeks, they have a bunch of different parties. But man, Vegas is going to be like, I bet you the parties will go on for days because it's 24/7 in Vegas. I remember being in New York for a Super Bowl, and that was cool because they had a bunch of, in different areas of New York, they would have these, little parties during the week leading up to the Super Bowl. So they would, and I kind of rent out a restaurant and then clean it out and then make it theirs. Somebody would do a pop-up. Those are cool parties. I mean, but I can only imagine what's going to happen in Vegas for the Super Bowl. That is going to be so much fun. I love Vegas. I wish I can experience that, but to be honest, I'd rather stay away because everything's going to be overpriced, overcrowded. But it'll be fun. It'll be cool for all the creators that are in the city that cover it. There'll be a lot of content, a lot of stuff that'll be going on. Vegas 2.0. So, speaking of that, I mean, Vegas big, right? All the lights and the glamour, and I'm sure the celebrities will be kicking in from all over to be at the Super Bowl. And everybody wants to be entertained. And one of the big things of the Super Bowl weekend and the Super Bowl game is the halftime show, right? It has to be big. It has to be big, and it has to be talked about right now because we need to kind of plant our flag and say, hey, we want some rock and roll music on the halftime show. It's our turn. Can we get a shot over here? Can we get some heavy rock and roll? Can we get Metallica? And can you imagine that? The 72 tour hitting the Super Bowl halftime where they would put their whole stage out. That would be cool. With everything they have right now, that stage layout, put it out on the field and see if you can get it out in a timely manner. Because you know how all that works. That would be incredible. Something to watch. But that's not going to happen. But, it's crazy, just saying it. The 2024 Super Bowl, right? February 11th, 2024 at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's crazy because speaking of rock music, the mayor of Vegas, Las Vegas, Joe Lombardo, says that he wants one of the legendary hard rock acts to play the halftime show. And who else is he talking about? AC/DC. Wow. That's great. I mean, Mayor, please, I hope this gets some traction or it's real. Because I'm all in, man. But it's crazy because the way the Super Bowl halftime show works now. I didn't know how it worked back in the day. All I know is something that we enjoyed watching with the game, right? When you would go to a Super Bowl party. That was one of the big things. I mean, you would watch The Who, the Rolling Stones, Prince, so many bands and memories of different Super Bowl halftime shows. I remember being at the one in Dallas, and who was it? The Black Eyed Peas brought out Slash, and that was pretty cool live. Watching that was cool. I enjoyed that. But what can they do now? We all know that Rock Nation, Jay-Z, is the one that's part of the committee, man, and they run this halftime show stuff. They're producing the show with Apple Music, and they're primary sponsors of the show. So of course they're going to have a lot, that their word and their ideas go a long way. And I mean, we've proven that, right? Because they can bring out performers, always make good choices, and it's always awesome to see. But I mean, how does that work, right? I mean, do we have to go to Jay-Z and say, hey, can we bring in AC/DC? Who do we talk to? Because our mayor here in Vegas is talking about bringing in AC/DC for the halftime show. Yeah, everybody's going to be like, dude, they're not the same AC/DC. Yeah, you're right. But it's still, to me, it's AC/DC. Let's do it. Right? I mean, come on. Do you agree, disagree with me? I don't know. The mayor of Las Vegas, Lombardo, he's on it, man. The guy is on to something, and I'm glad that he mentioned that and put it out there, because it will, the more people that talk about it and it picks up steam, the more of possibility we have of getting some rock music back for the halftime show. And I'm all for that. So either way, we need to see something. I'm going to keep you guys updated on this story, because we need our rock back so we can crank it up at our Super Bowl party here in Texas or wherever you reside. But yes, please consider bringing AC/DC to the Super Bowl halftime show in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. That just sounds good. Wow, that would be awesome. At Johnny Compian on Twitter. And you can also support the podcast show on anchor.fm/Johnny5150.